This one's wife. She frisked kid for gear. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. I've explained previously that the issue of recreational pharmaceuticals and the Sussex is one that is particularly relevant. First of all, there is the fact that Prince Harry has admitted that he has utilised them in the past. He has admitted this in his autobiography, Spare, and he has done so in interview. He's explained that part of the reason for his use of said recreational pharmaceuticals has been as a consequence of the trauma that he's experienced, and that it has led him to such usage. He has been candid about that. Further, there have been occasions, with regard to the presentation of Harry, which have caused people to wonder whether there is that continued usage. Certainly, given what he has to endure by way of the sustained devaluation of his wife, it would not be a surprise if, like many other people do, that he seeks out such use as a crutch, a place which enables him to escape reality for a period of time. Given this previous in relation to the use of recreational pharmaceuticals, this means that they might be introduced into the household as a whole. There's also the presence of Doria Ragland, over whom there hangs a cloud as to whether she has any involvement in that regard. There has been suggestion of cannabis use by her in the past, and that whether she has faced some form of sanction as a consequence of involvement within that. Nothing has been proven, but her absence for a period of time, which is regularly suggested as being as a consequence of attendance in prison, has also been suggested as being linked to potential involvement with drugs. The third aspect is the presentation of this one's wife. She has repeatedly looked somewhat wired, fried, high, however you might want to describe it. I've explained in separate videos that this presentation might be as a consequence of the fact that she is getting high off the fuel. I've also explained that it might be actually her narcissism glitching, whereby she has these over-exaggerated behaviours as a consequence of the fact that she has no emotional empathy, and that her narcissism seeks to make an approximation of how she should react. Thirdly, it could be that there is the influence of recreational pharmaceuticals. For a narcissist, access to recreational pharmaceuticals is heightened. It doesn't mean that every narcissist takes drugs, far from it, but there is a greater propensity for it to happen as a consequence of the fact that the narcissist has an attitude of a sense of entitlement to access, doesn't have the same sense of accountability of other people for their behaviour, lack of boundary recognition, the grandiosity of, I can consume as much as I want, it doesn't affect me, I'm superhuman when it comes to the ingestion, and also because it's a fuel substitute. The sense of power that it imbues is akin to the receipt of fuel, and that's why certain narcissists make roads towards the use of alcohol and recreational pharmaceuticals, because it gives them a similar effect to that as provided by fuel. And given the narcissist is an addict for fuel, it follows that some may well then utilise the provision of recreational pharmaceuticals in a similar way. Certainly the erratic behaviour of this one's wife recently starts to support that there may be more going on than just simply getting high off the fuel itself, or that it is a narcissism glitching, as I explained in the video Coked Up. There's also been the suggestion that Harry was handed something by a competitor from the Ukraine with a rather bizarre handshake. I know the suggestion has been that something was handed over there, although you can't actually see anything being handed over, and maybe it's just a strange handshake that he's engaging in. Perhaps Harry's joined the Masons. But once again, given his past admissions of drug use, it follows that people will, understandably, consider, is it the case that we're witnessing such behaviour now on part of both of them? I would suggest that if he was looking to obtain drugs, it'd be a far easier way of doing so than getting a Ukraine competitor to hand it over in full glare of the publicity of the event and cameras. So I'd think that probably it wasn't the case that he was being handed anything that was contraband. But who knows? However, we have an interesting incident whereby this one's wife, clearly clucking and desperate to hoover something up those nostrils of hers, takes to patting down a kid to see if he's holding. Yes, extraordinary behaviour from this one's wife, as she meets a kid and his mother and engages in finding out whether he's holding. What am I talking about? Have a look at this. Hi, little kid. Are you holding? Harry, the bastard. He hoovered it all up last night and I'm absolutely clucking. I need something to get me going today so that I can run around and gurn at people. Come on. You must have something. Is there something you heard? Is holding? You must be holding. Come on. No. Damn. Too bad. I'll try your mom. I'll go in for a hug and see if she's got some. Maybe dip my hand in her pocket while I'm talking to her. No, neither of you got anything? You sure, kid? I'll just go back and check again. No, you haven't? Okay, fuck you. I'm out of here. Now, whilst it's quite clearly the case that this one's wife was just greeting a young boy and his mother, it is rather strange, once again, the way that she deals with them. The interaction is all too brief, this strange patting the kid down and then briefly embracing the mother before turning and heading off. Maybe she was late for something. Maybe she didn't want to stay and talk to them for too long. I've utilised the suggestion that she's frisking the boy because it's rather strange behaviour that she engages in. Rather than talking to him, she treats him naturally like the object that she subconsciously sees him as. But as soon as I saw the interaction, it put me in mind of a clucking addict trying to find out if somebody's holding by frisking them down to search for contraband. And also, it provided me with the opportunity to explain to you more about how a narcissist utilises recreational pharmaceuticals with regard to it being a fuel substitute, and how that it's the case that narcissists are often users of recreational pharmaceuticals because of certain attributes of theirs and by virtue of what the drug provides to them with being a fuel substitute. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for watching.